in a way whether it proselytizes or not. And it seemed to me in Bali that if there ever was a time when they did that, they'd given it up. I'm sure there was a time of terrible spiritual and religious warfare in that part of the world. It can't have been the only part of the world where there never was.
The Balinese actually ran from an Islamic invasion. That's why they exist.
I mean, there's that too. But I mean, I bet between different Buddhist and Hindu groups, there have been terrible episodes of homicide, and worse. There are some parts of the world where they've calmed down and got over it. But it doesn't entitle us to forget what religion was like when it thought it could get away with it.
Okay, but I mean...
Anyway, my principle is absolutely one of coexistence and even of cultural admiration, as long as the fangs are drawn. And if you say they've been drawn in Bali, good on them.
It just sort of goes against the idea that religion poisons everything, which is your basic point. Perhaps it's a rhetorical point.
You're describing a culture and praising it, as far as I know, justly, to precisely the extent to which it doesn't resemble really a religion. Now, is that me having it both ways? I mean...
It certainly resembles a religion to me, and I would say probably to the majority of the Balinese people. But
what do you get if you cross a Jehovah's Witness with a Unitarian? Someone who comes and knocks on your door for no particular reason. Unitarians are religious too. They say their apparent belief is one God at the most. I don't have the energy for a real quarrel with them, but I mean, I don't terrifically respect it either. As long as, all I ask is that it leaves me alone.
Let's bring the principle closer to home, and to our home here, I mean. Let's look at another example. There's a place called the Oasis here in Sydney. It's a shelter for young homeless people. It was a subject of a very moving documentary not so long ago. And from that, it's clear that the heart and soul of this place is a Salvation Army captain called Paul Moulds and his wife. Now, they're non-judgmental as far as I can see. They don't seem to be pushing their religion. Essentially, they practice their faith by helping others. So can that be poisonous?
No, but in what sense in that case is it religious? Again, you're saying these people are so nice they're hardly religious at all. You're making... You took care to pick the example where their faith had nothing to do with it. No, we're not mentioning any of that.
It's not clear at all.
We just like running orphanages. Now, I'll just tell you something. Most people of faith who like running orphanages aren't that nice. And I know that Australia is one of the places where I don't need to underline that. So again, if you're going to accept or claim the one, you have to take on the other. Whereas, I'll give you an example. I like giving blood, okay? It's not that I think I should, and that I was brought up in the idea of the National Health Service, but I actually positively enjoy it. More than shedding it. I find it a pleasurable, relaxing experience, and I get pleasure from the idea that the National Health Service, or wherever I am, isn't going to run out of blood. And I don't lose a pint, because I regrow it quite quickly, but someone else gets one. I like that. There's a great book by an old socialist called Peter Titmuss called The Gift Relationship, about how people like to help and they get positive benefit to themselves from helping other people. And I also have a very rare blood group indeed, and I want to make sure that when it's my turn to hemorrhage, there's enough blood around the place. Why make a strenuous